Hi guys, Harry here from the Art Gear Guide. Thanks very much for joining me today. As you can see, I've got another colour pencil review. I'll get into that in a second, but I just want to say a couple of things before I go on. First of all, the reviews that are coming out on the Art Gear Guide over the next 6 or 7 months, guys, the reviews are fantastic. I've got a whole range of different things lined up and stuff like that. But for the next year, for the rest of 2017, the reviews that we have lined up for you in Colour Pencil magazine are just absolutely phenomenal. There are some reviews of some pencils that are incredibly rare, and I can't tell you how excited I am about the reviews that are in Colour Pencil magazine going forward for the rest of 2017. So it is worth your while maybe going across to Colour Pencil magazine, having a look at the deals and what have you that are across over there, and perhaps maybe getting a subscription or whatever. But also not just obviously for my reviews, but obviously there's such a vast array of content available in Colour Pencil magazine, including featured artists and so much more. Also, I just want to make one thing very clear. Perhaps I haven't been making this clear enough in my videos or the writing of my reviews or anything like that. And I just want to make it very clear. When I do a review of a pencil or anything, I've always banged on about the fact that I'm always honest and transparent. I try to be as honest and transparent as I can. I do have my favourite pencils, but whenever I'm doing a review of those particular pencils, I try to be as unbiased as I possibly can. I try to find fault with them, but I'm not going to obviously create a fault just in the matter of interest or anything like that. If there's no fault to find, I'm not going to say anything about it. But I try to be as balanced, as transparent, and 100% honest whenever I'm doing my reviews. But one thing that needs to be taken into consideration by the people watching the videos whenever they go through these reviews is that when I'm doing a review, there are a lot of different factors that come into play that may make the pencil slightly different to an experience you may have with the pencil, such as paper. Paper is going to be a fundamental difference. If I'm doing a review of a colour pencil and I'm using hot press watercolour paper or something else, and perhaps somebody else is using cartridge paper or newspaper print paper or whatever it is, but if it's a different paper, the very same pencil is going to give two completely different results. And so that is something that you must bear in mind. Now, I absolutely 100% encourage people to leave comments down in the section of the video, regardless of what experience you've had with the pencil. If you have a really completely polar opposite experience to what I'm telling you on my reviews, leave it down in the comment section, because it's important for the other people that are coming to the video to see the balance right across the board. But what I don't want is, I don't want to be getting emails from people saying that what I'm saying is wrong and that therefore the review should be taken down or something like that. Because the review isn't wrong. It might be different to what you've experienced, but it's not wrong. It's what I'm showing you at this particular time. And also, any information I give you on a particular pencil, it's very important that you understand I go directly to the company. I don't source my information from other reviewers. I don't source it from Amazon or eBay or anything like that, because they aren't reliable sources as far as I'm concerned. I need to be giving you the absolute 100% accurate information. And so I go directly to the company. Now, if for some reason the company don't get back to me, then I just don't put that information out. I'm not going to make it up. I'm not going to say, right, okay, well, the company didn't get back to me, so what do I think the consistency of the pencil is, whether it's wax or oil based or anything like that. But it's actually, that's another topic I'm going to be doing a video on, which is really, really quite important. But, you know, this wax and oil thing about pencils. But you need to understand that I go directly to the companies, because I want to make sure that the information I'm giving you is accurate. And anything they tell me is what I put down in my reviews. And that's it. It's as simple as that. But there's no such thing as a wrong review. And I think it's very important for people to understand that. But also, there are very different opinions to one particular pencil. One particular pencil can have 100 different people try it, and 100 different people will give 100 different accounts of how they view that pencil. So it's just, my whole idea of doing these reviews is to give people the opportunity to see the pencil in action, which is the reason why I do a written review and a video review, to see the pencil in action, to give you the vital information about the pencil, about the company. I know some people aren't interested in the company, but the company can be an important factor in whether you buy a pencil or not. Anyway, moving on with the review. Sorry, I've rambled on a little bit. I just want to get that information out there because I have received a few emails, and I don't mind getting, I love getting emails and stuff like that, but not emails telling me I'm wrong about a review. You know, I'm wrong about many things, but not these reviews. These reviews are just my opinion, and everybody's opinions are slightly different. So anyway, moving on with this review. Okay, so as you can see, the pencils are called Black Widow pencils. Now that may not be necessarily a pencil that you've heard of, and there'll be a good reason for that. There is a story behind these pencils, and I am going to go through it with you, but you've been watching a stilled image for quite some time now, so I'm going to get on with the review. So as you can see here, there are 24 pencils in this pack. Now this is the only pack that's available right now at this present time and moment. As you can see here on the back, there's a little bit of a colour code, letting you know a little bit about the pencils. And I'm not too sure if you can see there, right down there at the bottom, it says MediHealth 1, which is the name of the company that has produced these pencils. This company, in fact, actually the owner of the company, Albert, he reached out to me a while ago and asked me if I would do a review of these pencils, which I had no problem doing. And as you can see there as well, it says that the pencils are made in China. Now, the reason why Albert, because I thought it was strange that a healthcare company would be making colour pencils and what have you. So I asked Albert, I had a long conversation with him, I went through it. My written review will explain everything so much better. But basically what it is Albert is involved in a healthcare company, and it provides lots of different services and stuff like that there for lots of different health related issues, and one of those being mental health. Now he could see that the adult colour pencil market was getting much bigger. So many people were getting into it and what have you, and he'd done a lot of research into it, and he found out that coloured pencils, art materials, that type of thing, have a fast impact on mental health. Now, I am absolute testament to this, and so this is why I really wanted to do this review for you, is because the reason why Albert has made these pencils and put these pencils out there is for that reason. And this is what they're aimed at. They're not high-grade artist pencils or anything like that, so that's the first thing that I'm going to say. These pencils are aimed at the coloured pencil adult colouring book market, so to speak. And like I say, he's done a lot of research into this, and he has found that art and coloured pencils in particular, the idea of just sitting down with a packet of coloured pencils and going through your coloured pencil, your art book and stuff like that, or your colouring book, has such a wealth of help towards people with mental health. And like I say, I am absolute testament to that. So he is expanding the range, hopefully soon, up to either 36 or 48, but that is not at the minute. So it's a pack of 24 at the minute, and these are the pencils themselves. Now, as you can see, they are made from black wood. Just let me roll them out there a little bit. And I mean, there are a couple of little issues with them, which I'll go through. As you can see here, the only information that is on the pencil is it just says Black Widow and the logo on the end of the pencil, which is an issue for me, because I've always said about the information that should be written on pencils. The colour at least should be printed on the pencil, or I would like to see that printed on the pencil. Now, I think the pencils look incredibly striking with this beautiful black wood, and that's what it is. It's not like lacquered or anything, but it does have its downsides because the color isn't printed on the actual pencil. The darker colors are really hard to define. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Sorry. Let you see what I mean. So as you can see there are a few darker pencils over the list side here. And it's actually, the pencils that I'm referring to are these ones. In fact, actually, not really so much that one, but this one here. Let me move these ones here to the side. So, these 4 pencils here. I'm sorry, I'm all fingers and thumbs here at the minute. It is really hard to tell what colour they are. And in fact, one's a dark green, one's a dark blue, one's a brown, and the other one is black. And so therefore that would make that very difficult for perhaps somebody, well, not even but somebody with impaired vision, but anybody to differentiate between those 4 particular pencils. This is the actual colours. Okay, so you can see that they are, one's a dark green, one's a midnight blue, a brown, and then the black. And the good thing about the black is it is a beautiful jet black. It is a really nice rich dark black. But nevertheless, it does make these pencils. Now the flip side of it is that the remainder of the pencils, they stand out really, really well. The lighter colours and stuff like that stand out really, really well because of the black. So it is a little bit of an issue. I would like to see, and I've addressed these different things to Albert and stuff like that, and it is something that he is, I'm sure, going to look into in the future, having the colour printed. Now, as far as Lightfast information is concerned, the Lightfast isn't really, he's not really 100% sure on it. He spoke to the company that makes them and stuff like that, and I would say that it's average. So, but it's not an issue because these pencils, like I say, are not aimed at the high-end colour pencil market. If they were, they would be getting a completely different type of review. But I'm giving you a review of these pencils based on the market that they are aimed at, which is the adult colouring book market. Now, I have tested these on an adult colouring book, and as I've said many times before, there are many different varieties of colour pencil books, or sorry, colouring books, adult colouring books. I've only got one, and I can't test them all, but the one I've tested it on is a relatively high-end colour book, and they work fine. They work absolutely perfect in the colouring book. They are a soft core pencil. They're wax, and there's a bit of oil in them as well, but they are wax. Like I said at the beginning of this, I will be making a video about this wax and oil thing in colour pencils, but when in terms of sharpening and stuff like that, they sharpen very, very well. Let me see. You can see there, they sharpen very well. They get a really nice point on them, and sorry, I'm all over the place here. Sorry about this, guys. They hold a point really, really well. Now, I have done the same tests as I do with all colour pencils with these ones. So just let me get that test for you now. Okay, so as you can see, in this test, it's just exactly the same test as I do all the time. The top layer has just one light layer. Sorry, the top row has one light layer. The middle row has 5 light layers just layered on top of each other. And the bottom row here has just one heavy application of the pencils. And as you can see here, with them being a relatively soft core pencil, they apply really quite well. Now layering, in terms of layering, by about the fourth layer, they started to get that kind of like that tacky, sticky feel. There wasn't necessarily a lot of blooming, but they got that sticky resistance type feeling by about the fifth layer. So I would say, I mean, I was able to put 5 layers down, but by about the fourth and fifth layer, there was resistance. Let's put it that way. As you can see there, the bottom layer of the heavy application, the pigment is really quite vibrant, bright, especially that yellow. That yellow's gorgeous. And in terms of blending, it actually blended quite well. Now, the top one here is just dry blending, just with an ordinary blender and using the pencils. The bottom one here is using a solvent, and although the pigment did break up quite well, and it didn't really tend to blend that well. Now that might have been down to the paper I'm using. I'm using a £140 watercolor paper hot press by Daler and Rowney. So that might have been why, but I definitely think that the better result was the dry blending. And unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be coming up that well on this camera. Let me just zoom in a little bit there, so you can see yourself there the blending test. Now the thing is, I know that whenever you're working on these adult colouring books that there is blending involved. I'm not actually an adult colouring book individual. I've never really used them before, so I'm not 100%. But I do know that the quality of the paper that is in the higher end ones, and these pencils work exceptionally well in that bracket. Now, the overall conclusion with these pencils are, for what they're aimed at, for the adult colouring book market, they are perfect. They work incredibly well. There's a good range of colour in the 24 pack here. As you can see, just let me bring this pack around again. As you can see, that's the range of colours that are available. So there's plenty of reds and stuff like that, and the blues. Again, this isn't really showing up that well, but there are, because some of those blues look the same colour, but they're not. There's the bottom ones are like an aqua green blue, but there's a good range of colour in the 24 pack. Now, like I said, the company is looking to expand into 36 and 48, or 36 or 48, or both of them. They're not 100% sure, but it is something that they're definitely looking into. Now, at the minute, as far as I can tell at the minute, they're only available in the UK and maybe Amazon, or maybe Australia. Although I couldn't find them. I couldn't find these pencils on Amazon in the States, Amazon in Europe, and Amazon in Australia. However, here in the UK, they're priced £14 for the 24 pencils. Now, just so that you can get a little bit of a taster, the company have given me 4 sets to give away. So all you really need to do to be involved in this, and I will ship them anywhere in the world, it doesn't matter where you are. If you put your name down in the comment section below and say that you want to be added into this, I will ship them out, or sorry, my wife will, to anywhere in the world. So it doesn't matter where you are. Basically, all you need to do is just, when you're putting your comments down in the section below, just say whether you would like to be, just say, you know, I don't know, just start the comment with yes or something like that there, or you would like to be in, I don't know, I've never done giveaways before, I'm not too sure what you're supposed to do. Just say whether you're interested or not, and I will put your names in a hat at the end of the time. I'll give it about a month. At the end of the month, I'll put everybody's names in a hat and stuff like that, and then I will draw out 4 names, and I will contact you, and then if you let me know where to send them to, I will send them. It's just a way for the company to let people get a feel for the pencils and see whether you like them or not, and you're going to get them for free. So it's a win-win situation all around. So that is my review for these Black Widow pencils. I know some of you might be going, Black Widow? Wow, it's a bit of an odd name for coloured pencils, but there it is. I think they're a striking looking pencil for what they're aimed at in the adult colouring book market. They are an excellent pencil. In terms of like high end colour pencil artists, no, you obviously couldn't use them. There's lots of different reasons why they don't come up in stock. The light fast rating isn't there. Those types of things. But if you are an adult colouring book enthusiast, then you know, this is a really handy little pack of pencils to have in your bag whenever you're going out and about and stuff like that. And bearing in mind the reason behind these and what they're trying to achieve with these. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. Don't forget, if you like this review, share it with people. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, all those other social networking sites over on Instagram and all those good things. And I just want to say thank you so much for everybody that has supported the channel and comes back to these reviews time and time again. I really appreciate it, I really do. Which is the reason why I'm trying my hardest to get really excellent reviews out for you, and reaching out to lots of different places to get really obscure things as well. I don't want to be just reviewing the same type of stuff. I want to try and get reviews out to you that you may not necessarily have seen on YouTube before or on other reviews. So I'm trying my hardest to get things out as well that you may not have seen before. Anyway, thanks very much, guys. Look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Bye.